And then society also means a definite population living together. So in talk of society, it's more definite. And so you can say the Ga society, you can say the Ewe society, you can say the Kan society. But when you say community, it involves a whole lot: children, adults, social and non-social persons. So we move on to define what society is. So you say society, one thing that you shouldn't forget, we said that when you talk of society, we mean people who have common characteristics. And we always mention the word homogeneity. Society survives because of homogeneity. So anytime you mention society, we also say that we are surviving when we are doing things in common. So society is a group of people that are living together for the purpose of survival. No, I took my class, so so it can also be seen as an organization who share common or similar interests, purpose, and activity. They share similar interests. They share similar purpose. They share similar activity that they are belonging to. So we also say that we have several communities or several societies that can come together to form a community. Remember, you said community is general: adults, children, social, non-social persons. They all come together to form the community. So several societies can form a community. So when you go to a community like maybe Kumasi or Cape Coast community, we have societies. Sometimes you have another town. So as soon as you hear another town in Kumasi, it tells you that that place was a living place or the first settling place for the Ewes. We can have a Fante town. We can have Zongo. Those days we have Zongo. So the Zongo community is a society within maybe Kumasi. So within Kumasi, we have several societies that form a community. So community is a group of people that have common background, value, identity, share interests, and come together for the purpose of survival. So all of the other society or community, we are there to survive. So when you say communal labor, everybody in that area will have to take part in the area because we see ourselves as common. Anything that is happening to Ahojo, whether you are Kan, Ewe, Gan, whatever, you are part. You cannot be in Ahojo and say, I'm thinking about Accra. That is where you are. So when you are doing things to help us, it's the whole community or society that come together because we have common identity and certain things. So to help us survive. So we share a sense of place. I belong to this community. I come from this community. And it is a geographical area. You can easily locate it. So in Ghana, we have located every community with some form of boundaries. So when you are driving in town, especially the big towns, like Accra, you are from La Paz area coming to Kaswa. Say the driver will be mentioning names, broadcasting, barrier. So as you are in the car, you don't even see lines. So you don't even know where they reach and they are calling another town. So several societies will come together and then they form the community. Sometimes you even call it in politics, you call it the constituency. Because in this constituency, they all vote for one person. They all vote for one person. That is what we are talking about. So it's a given geographical area. And then sometimes even in a virtual space, as we do now, all of us here, whether we are from north, south, wherever we are on the same platform, in the same link. So we have also formed a community because our interests and our identity and our values are the same as we are on this platform. We have also formed a virtual community. So in education, we are also interested because there's no education when there are no human beings. There's no education when there are no human beings. So education are also interested. We are interested in the society, in the community, because they are the people who feed the school. So these children who are people who are feeding the school, we call them non-social members. They are non-social members because they don't know the rules and regulations, and they are not agents of education. They are rather the beneficiaries of education. So it's education that helps them to master their social functions, as well as their roles, their responsibilities, their rights, and then privileges. So education is interested in these people because we are saying that is the young that is going to take up from the old. So whatever we want our society to be, then education, society, and then community have a role to play. If not, the day we all die and then we are in the ghost town, you see that our country is collapsing. The country that we love so much is collapsing because we never train our non-social members to take up some of their, to know their roles, responsibility, and then their rights. So education is important for people. Through education, you are able to know our culture, and the culture is the content of education, because as we are here now, the way we do our things is different from how Nigerians do our things. It's different from how people do things in Kenya. It's different from, so the culture of the people is infused in our education. So when you get to school in the morning, you must greet. You line up. We march to the classroom, and one of the things that we do, we greet. Good morning, students. It's part of our culture. So the greeting that we do is part of the, even though we are infusing some curriculum, it's, our culture is also infused in whatever we are learning in the school. So we do that so that our non-social community, our non-social members will know the culture of the people, so that they can also be considered as responsible and competent members of the society. So in a conclusion, you're saying that education is a nourishment. So that I always say that if you are educated, people expect you to behave in a certain way. They expect you to behave get your natural capacity in life. So those of us who are educated, when you are leaving home, our parents don't care so much. So when you ever get a chance to go to school in Canada, your parents will not follow you to Canada. They expect that you have reached your natural capacity to be able to communicate wherever you go. So they allow you, first day in secondary school, they will maybe take you to the school. That is the end. Sometimes they don't even visit you in the school again. But you're able to join the car, get to the school, do everything, holidays, all that you call, maybe my money is finished. Sometimes they come to visit you once. There are some of us, you go to school, nobody even come to visit. So, of course, education is training you. Education is training you. Education is bringing you in both traditional and modern ways so that you can become acceptable members of the society. You can become acceptable members of the society. So that is why education is important. What the white in there? You should yellow no. Okay. Yellow no na. Yeah, sure.
I'm seeing some lock on the dashboard.
We are not seeing. Yes, we are not seeing no lock.
Okay.
So I say we change seeing kakra. We are not one we change na lock. Aye. Okay. So that is that as far as education is concerned. So you are saying that education, you are interested. You are interested in the individuals, in the community and the society. You are interested in how the non-social members must learn so that they will become acceptable members of the society. And then education uses both traditional and modern ways to make members acceptable in the society in which they live. Then you move on to education and society. If I go on, if you don't understand anything, you raise your hand and I can attend to you. Education and society, we are saying that the training of individuals are vested in the home and then in the school. These are the two people who should be responsible. Hello. Okay. should be responsible in training students. So the beneficiaries, who are the children, we are calling the non-social members, are nurtured to acquire knowledge and skill to live in the society, successfully in the society. The beneficiaries are there, the students. So the home is training, the school is training, then the people we are training should be able to live well in the society. But we are saying that these days, because of the modern world and because of the complexities of the world, the school is becoming more important as far as the individual training is concerned. So the school is now a place where all desirable behaviors are acquired. It's also the place where we acquire all the necessary and necessary skills and knowledge to enable us contribute our best to the overall development of the society. And so also, the school is responsible to make sure that we progress, we make progress in the society in an acceptable manner. So the old ways of teaching is changing. Said that now the school, the home, the religious society and other things, they are losing their importance. Because now that you are doing technology, most of your parents, the first time they said I should teach online as a lecturer, I struggled. Seriously, I had to teach some people online, and they were Sunyani. How to join the link, how to share my slides was difficult for the first time in 2019 when the COVID came. It was during COVID that all of us started using technology, and it's now becoming part of our media. I was trying, I couldn't use it. So if it is your first time you can't use it, don't get worried. There's a first time for everybody. I couldn't use it. We try. So now I have to travel. Whatever you have to teach online, I couldn't teach. And luckily for me, there was face-to-face, online. So I went there and had to teach all that I was supposed to teach online. So things are changing, and therefore the home and then the religion and other people, they are not able to teach. They are not able to teach the child, to prepare that child for the modern society. And therefore the school has now become the intermediate stage between the child's home life and then the larger society. The child's domestic life and the larger society. And all of us will agree. Even now, the church is also moving technology. Let's look at the Alpha Hour. Look at the number of people who have hooked to that church. It doesn't have any building anyway. But when he was organizing a face-to-face or conference, look at the people who traveled to the stadium to join. So even if you are Christian, you must know how to use technology. That is how. So if the school is not teaching technology, or we are asking you to join online and you are complaining, my network and I don't have this. Meanwhile, you are able to join Alpha Hour and pray. So these are the new changes, and these changes we are saying that sometimes it's the school that must help us to do all these things. So the school and then the home help in the transmission of our culture too. And I make sure and do. So the school help in the transmission of our culture. The way we dress to school is not different from the way we dress in the house. Our parents want us to dress nicely. The school also makes sure that we dress decently. You cannot come to school showing your vital parts of the body. And most religious parents will not allow you to go out to dress anyhow. We believe that as a Ghanaian, you should stick to our culture. So the content of education in the modern society is the content of the people, or is the culture of the people. That's why I say the culture of the people is what we learn as far as education is concerned. So in Ghanaian schools, we create something we call refilling. We have something we call refilling. So what is the refilling? The refilling is possible when we try to have common way of doing things. Common national anthem, common dressing. Sometimes even now schools are even insisting that we wear common sandals. We have our common house dress. So these common things that we do in the school help us to force everyone to look for his or her place and rights in the school. So it forces everyone into the micro society. The school is a micro society. The community is a macro, or Ghana is a macro. So the society, the school society is also a small society. Even our platform, we are in a society now. And there are certain things that we expect everyone to do. So the child learns the importance of cooperation, the child learns the importance of tolerance, the child learns the importance of selfless service, brotherhood, faith in man, and then responsibility. You'll stay and live with people you have not seen anywhere, the boarding house. The first day you get to the boarding house, you enter the room, there's somebody there. Sometimes the first person who will come out to help you take your troubles to the room becomes your friend. And sometimes you have this friendship running for years. But he was the first person to meet you when you are entering the room. He was the first person to talk to you, to make you feel at home. So even though you don't know him, that person becomes your brother or your sister. So you finish secondary school. So that is education in society. We are looking at society in terms of the home and society in terms of the school. In terms of the home and in terms of the school. So now we move on to types of education in the various societies. Types of education in various societies. Remember, you have said that you have different societies, and then we have different education types, because we are saying, remember I said that the culture of the people is a culture, the context of education. Christopher, please mute yourself. Thank you. So the culture of the people is the culture of the society. So different societies have their peculiar culture. Therefore, we can't expect people to school or do same way all over Ghana or over the world. So even though sociologists try to categorize culture according to our society, according to their sociological orientations, we are saying that you can group all societies into two. You can group it into simple or complex societies. Societies can be grouped into two, simple and then complex. So we are going to look at what are these two simple and complex societies. We are going to examine the types of education in the various societies. So what is a simple society? What is a simple society? We talk of a simple society as one that is less specialized and then less diversified. They have one is less specialized and less diversified knowledge and skills. They use less specified and less knowledge and skills to transmit knowledge from one generation to the other. You can look at the example of our village. When you live in a typical Ghanaian village, I mean a village like on a farm area, all that the people do is to learn how to farm. They don't have anything. They only send their things to the markets, and then on a market day, they go and sell their products. They buy whatever they need, and they come back to the village. So they even travel to town once in a week. Sometimes cars even come to the town once in a week. It's these days I have a lot of motors. So you can see those things. So people use motors a lot than taxis. You only see taxis. So the children in that community see taxis once in a week. And sometimes they will be like 8 years, 10 years, and they have never traveled to anywhere. So that is what we are calling the simple society. The members share similar knowledge and interests, and they are familiar with they are familiar with the thoughts, attitude, and activity of the whole community. But as soon as you get out, they know the house you are coming from. Everybody knows everybody. So when you are a stranger in that town you are walking, everybody is looking at you. And in that town, say Kotofofro. Sometimes they see. As soon as you enter that town, they know you because they do similar things. They all know what to do at any part. Everybody can guess what you'll be doing at any point in time. because they are very few in that community. So you call that community a simple community. So a general young generation are educated. They are educated through some of these means. They observe. You remember you have said this thing already. They observe. They go to the farm with their parents. They observe what their parents are doing. How do they plant? How are they reading? How are they cooking? It's similar activities that is ongoing. Or they are not complex. They are they are not diversified. That's why you call them the simple society. So you can use our villages in Ghana as a form of simple society, a very simple society. And the teaching method is observation, imitation, identification, and then participation. So they do a lot of activities like ritual, hunting, festival, cultivation, householding, coming together. When you lose somebody, we all come together. We have common way of doing it, and everybody knows what must be done at any point in time. Then you move on to the complex society. What is a complex society? It is a high level of specialized and diversified knowledge and skill to transmit knowledge from one generation to the other. And the education of the younger ones takes place in a specialized area called the school. Everything is complex. Your parents in the simple society, most of them cannot read and write. So if you want your children to read and write, you cannot do it in the home. You must move this child to a specialized area called the school where they learn several things. A lot of things that we are learning, our parents don't have any knowledge about. Said that when sometimes they bring homework, especially at the private schools. When they bring homework to the house, as a mother, sometimes you can't do it. Maybe you have to go online to search for the knowledge. You can't answer simple questions from a class 2 or class 3 child. So they are learning a whole lot of things. So education now becomes responsible for that. So why in the simple society? So the transmission of knowledge, we are saying that it's not carried about by the school alone. The school alone. That's why I gave the example of you parents also taking part in homework. So other organizations come in to also take part in educating the child. So the home or the family is one. The peer group is one. The religious area is one. And many others. Many others. Unlike the simple one where things are clean, go to farm, go and read, cook food in the farm and eat, carries the food to the house. In the evening, cook your fufu and eat. Maybe go and sit outside in the open to play games or in those things or gossip. Then come home and sleep. In the morning, you take your cattle. You see, straight, linear way of doing things. But when it comes to the complex society, it's not like that. It's not like that at all. So we need other people to also come in to support in the training of the children. So you said the school is there, but other agents or other institutions also come in. And also in the complex society, the formally organized schools also separate us. We are separated from our parents in some period of our education. There are some parents or some kids who leave home very early. They are in the boarding house from class 1 up to JHS. Then they continue from JHS to secondary school. Then they don't stay home. They only go home during holidays. So in the school or the formal organization, we are also separated. Those of us who are not even separated, we leave home in the morning and we are getting home in the evening. So they are not separated, but the simple society, as we said, children are not separated. But there's no formal school. So that's why the village situation I use as a perfect example. Children are not separated. They leave their parents, and then parents are also part of the education. So they normally go through the informal education. While the formal one, you have to be separated. So children are given specially trained people that we call teachers. Yeah, they have specially trained people who are called teachers who normally take children through this form of specialized education. So in a complex society, we can't have our own parents teaching us. So there's trained people we call special teachers, There's a special place we call the school, and there's a special content we call the curriculum. So that happens in this complex society. So whatever we are doing now is in the complex society. And this complex society is responsible for preparing us into so that we can fit into any modern society. That's why when you finish school and then you get a job, you don't work in your town. Sometimes the job will take you to Accra, to Tamale, sometimes even outside the country. So that is the role of the school in the complex society. Now you move on to the school as a micro society. Remember we said there's a refilling. The refilling and whatever you are doing when you are separated and you are in the school, it means that the school is also a society. So every school is a micro society. So what does this school do? And that makes it a micro society. So the school is an organized body, a specific structure and functions. We are organized. We have our parents, the teachers there, they behave as surrogate parents. So when you are in the school and something is wrong with you, you don't run to the house. It's your teacher that you tell us. So it's like you have mothers, we have brothers, we have sisters, we have elder brothers, we have younger brothers, all in the school. So the school is also a society on its own. So we have a lot of social activities that goes on among all the people that I have mentioned. So you see your seniors as your senior brothers. You see your juniors as your junior brothers. So we have a lot of social activities. So the sociologists see the school system as a micro society or as a miniature. The school system as a micro society or as a miniature society. Micro or miniature society. So what is the social system? We are saying the social system is a unit that is made up of interactive actors. Interactive, people who are interacting with one another. It can be positive or it can be negative, but we are interacting. Some seniors will come around and bully us. Some juniors and our own friends will even steal our uniform. At the university level, people will come, they won't cook. Some people come to the university to learn how to cook. They have not even prepared bankum before. So in the university system, that's when they learn to cook. Some of them, they come and then they don't even know how to take care of themselves. Sometimes you iron your dress and then you see your friend wearing it to class. There's a lot of social interaction going. So that's why it makes the school a social system. So in this social system, you play different roles, but these roles must be interlinked so that this society will survive. Because our survival is based on the strength of our interrelationships and our interactions. Whether the school will survive or the school will collapse is it based on the interactions and the interrelationship of all the members in the society.
Hello.
And who are you, please?
I'm
teaching. I'm teaching, please. So that is why it is important that each member of the society plays his or her role well. Or whatever role the class teacher is playing. As a class captain, what role are you playing? As class member, the blackboard cleaner, the cupboard keeper, the one who closes the door, the office girl. We are interacting every day that we are in the school. Apart from learning, there's a lot of interaction that goes on. And we are saying that the strength of this interaction will let the school survive or will let the school collapse. So it means that the school is a small society within a larger society. So when you say UCC student, when you are walking and people say UCC, you will turn. When you are in town and then somebody shouts, hey, UCC, you will break and then watch what the person is coming to say. Because now you are part of that society. So whatever people say about it, whether you like it or not, you are affected. So sometimes I tell people that when I'm in UCC uniform, someone will see you and smile because they have very good experiences. Someone will see you and insult you because they have bad experiences with the school. So anytime in UCC uniform, I see people smiling, they will smile and wave you. You feel good. Someone will look at you with a face, then you understand why a person is like that. Because you are in a society, and whether you like it or not, you are part of this micro level society. So the school is a place where educators and educants meet for the purpose of giving and receiving instruction based on a structured curriculum, as we are doing now. Everything is structured. So if I'm not even teaching what I'm supposed to teach, you will prompt me, madam, the book that you have, it's not what you are using, or the page that we have, what you are telling us is not there. Also, everything that we are doing is structured. So the modern school has certain characteristics. There are certain characteristics. However, we have boarding schools, like the university and then the colleges of education and the secondary schools, which exhibit these characteristics than these schools. We are saying that schools that have people living in the schools have certain characteristics. And what are these characteristics? They have definite population. Everybody knows. That's why every morning we mark register. We have mark register every morning to make sure that all the members in the class are present. Definite. We know the number of students in class 1, class 2. We know the number of students at the university. Today there was a matriculation. I don't know how many of you could join. And the acting VC was giving us numbers. We have so and so for undergraduates. We have so and so for distance. We have so and so for postgraduates regular. We know the numbers. That's why we are calling definite population. Then we have network of social relations. Before we came to class, someone joined early. She joined early to have a short interaction with me. Even though he doesn't know me, you don't know him, but we have that social relationship. We are virtual community now. You also have the we feeling. I have the we feeling. I want my student to pass. If not, I would have taught 2 hours and said no, but I said no. I also like it when my students do good. So why don't you have an evening class to make sure that we cover up? So we also have our authority. There's a class captain. Then we have threats. We have threats. It doesn't mean that because we are group, we wouldn't have any conflict or threats. The other time we learned about the conflict theory. There can be a threat or people who also don't like us. How do we treat them? Do we treat them as enemies, or we try to manage so that we have peace in the society? So these are what the school does as a micro society. So we are just like a small society in a larger society. You have everything. You have our national anthem. Ghana has a national anthem. UCC have our national anthem. Ghana has a president. The UCC also have a vice chancellor. We have a chancellor. You have a vice chancellor. Our chancellor is Sir Sam Jonah, one of a renowned businessmen in Ghana. We call him Sir Sam Jonah. You can Google and find out who is he. He's the chancellor. So every university have 2 people, chancellor and then vice chancellor, and you have pro vice chancellor. Just like we have the head teacher, assistant head teacher. You also our as chancellors. So that is that on the school as a micro society. Now you move on to what we are calling the paradigm, the agile and the paradigm of the school. What is the agile? What is the agile paradigm? It's a term that was coined by one Talcott Parsons. When we were doing last week, we were doing something, his name came up. Yeah, when we were doing sociology, the concept of sociology or something, we mentioned a lot of sociologists, and Talcott was one of them. I've forgotten the actual page, but Talcott was one of them. Yeah, when you were doing, when you look at the structural functionalist theory, when you go to the structural functionalist theory, they mention a lot of names there. Augustine Comte, Emily Durkheim, Herbert Spencer, then American sociologists like Talcott Parsons. So Talcott Parsons is here again, and he developed a paradigm for the school that we are calling the agile. What is the agile? He said, according to Parsons, he's saying it's a systematic depiction of a certain societal function, which every society must meet to be able to maintain a stable social among the members. So if you are calling ourselves a society, then there are certain things that you must do to be able to maintain stability among ourselves. So that is what the dream or the perception of this American sociologist. So he's saying that a basic unit of social system as a school was a status role bundle or complex. So according to Parsons, the basic unit of a social system, just as we have as a school, we have already looked at the school as a micro level or micro society. So he's saying a status is a structural position within the social system, while the role is what the individual does in the school. So he's looking at two phrases. He's calling a status and a role. So what is the status? The status is the structural position of the school. So what is the school in the larger society? And the role is what we must do. You must do in this structure or in this society if you want the society to be stable. So the role is what the individual does, who has a status. The role is what the individual who has a status does. The role is what the individual who has a status. So what is our status? Our status are students. We are students in a school. So what must we do so that we see ourselves as students, or the society see us as students? So Parsons is saying that the social systems have to rise to solve 4 peculiar problems. We have talked about 2 things. He said the society must depict certain functions to be able to survive or to be able to make sure it maintains stability in social life. And he went on to say there is something we call status role bundle. Status role bundle. That is what he said. Status role bundle. And he explained what the status is. He said the status is a structural position, and the role is what, as individuals, you must do to be able to be in that status. He went on to look at 4 things. So the 4 things is what we have called the agile. So the agile are 4 words that have been put together: adaptation, goal attainment, integration, and then latency. So these are the 4 things that we are going to look at. So one of them is adaptation. What is adaptation? Adaptation is when we interact with the immediate surroundings so that you can adapt. So in the first time that you enter UCC, your eyes and your ears are open, can easily get lost. All of us, we get lost. Even in the cold building, sometimes we get lost. So when you say go to LT, where is the LT? Somebody came to my office and then was asking, where is the LT? So now that you are able to know it, you begin to adapt so that you can survive. So it is the internal and external in relation pose a threat. So we as students, we need to adapt. If you are not able to adapt, you're not able to deal with the challenges. If you are not able to deal with the challenges, you may not be able to survive. So that is adaptation. It's the capacity of the school to interact with its immediate surroundings. Immediate surroundings. You need to know that the school is in the society. So whatever the school does, it's affect the society. Then you move on to goal attainment. It's our capability to set goals for the future and also make decisions. To set goals for the future and also make decisions. So that if you don't have any goal, then what are you living for? If you have a goal, then you have to enter school. What is your goal? If you don't have a goal, then you'll be just roaming. Class, you go. Exams, you go and do. What is your goal? What do you want this certificate for? And what must you gain to make sure that this certificate is useful to you? So any school that does not have any idea of where you want or how you want to go, then you are not likely to survive. You pick your bag and you don't even know where you are going. So any car that is passing, then you sit in. Any car, then you sit in and the car is saying, last stop, you get down. Because you don't know where you are going. So you need to have a goal. So as an investor of Cape Coast, we have goals. The other time, ask you to go and look for the mission and of the university. We want to be position ourselves with worldwide acclaim. So however you go and then say you are University of Cape Coast students, people know you because everywhere you may enter University of Cape Coast, the school name will come out. You also want to be a university of choice, not just choice, competitive choice. All these are part of our goals. So our vision is to make sure that the vision of the leaders must be shared. So when you have goals, everybody must be part of the goal, so that you all work towards achieving that goal. So how do you achieve the goal? You must mobilize resources. You want to be world acclaimed. So what do we do? Must be world acclaimed. Our students must pass exams. We must do research so that we bring up new things that other people will also know and then use. Then we have integration. Integration is when we are in harmony with the entire, there's harmony in the entire micro society. There's no chaos anywhere in the school. There's no chaos in the home. There's no chaos in the community. It means there's integration. So we need consistency. We need some basic language. Remember the example we always give. When the people were building the tower, when God wanted them to stop, he used language. He gave everybody different language. Now they couldn't communicate and they stopped. So language is one of them. So that is why we have using English. Everybody is trying to learn English so that you can communicate. So adaptation is very, very important. So you keep everybody together so that nobody will fall neglected. And all the structures in the school must also be communicated in harmony. That's why you have one syllabus. If the teacher begins to teach anything out of the syllabus, he's creating this harmony. It's creating this integration. Because the people will now go from class 1 to class 2, and they'll never be able to understand. For the class 1 form basis of class 2 form in that order. So integration. Then the last one is latency. Latency, we are saying that there should be some patterned way of life. Patterned way of life. Our culture is our way of life. So people must know what they have to do at any point in time. If I give birth, I should know what I should be doing. My husband and mine, you should know how you should manage the child. Is it outdooring? Are you to take care of the child? Are you to take him to the house? Must our parents be informed? Patterned way of life. That is what we are calling the latency. So the school culture is patterned way of life and must be maintained. As soon as we change, you lose our identity. So if children are going to school in any uniform, how will you know that they belong to Presby school, Roman school, Catholic school? So pattern way of life, school uniform is also one of them. You do that so that you will maintain. There's one school I attended, and they have changed the name of the hall. Like you are attending one secondary school, and the hall name is Osei Tutu Hall. Then you go back and they say they have changed it to call it Everybody's Hall. You will feel lost. You feel lost because that is the hall you have stayed for from Form 1 to Form 4. Now you go to that school hall and they say there's no Osei Tutu Hall again, Everybody's Hall. So when you say, now go to your hall, you don't know where to go. So one thing that person is saying is that we should maintain latency. We should have a pattern way of doing things. So you move on to Unit 2, Session 6. If you have any question, you can ask on what we have discussed now. If there are no questions, we move on to Unit 2, Session 6. We are going to look at sociology of teaching. Sociology of teaching. We always say that teaching is not just teaching. You must have certain sociological skills to be able to handle the children you are handling. So we are going to look at the roles of the teacher to the community, the roles of the teacher as a parent, the role of a teacher in the school system, and the role of the teacher to the parents, to the child. So what is your role? What is your role as a teacher? You are made up of several roles, cluster of sub-roles. So as a teacher, you are not just there to teach. You should take that thing away from your head. If you think you are being trained so that you just go and teach English or social studies, or that is wrong. There's a whole lot of things you must do in addition to teaching. So community, as a teacher, you must be educated. And therefore, once you're educated, you possess certain skills. And once you possess certain skills, you're expected to be useful. You are expected to be useful. So when you are doing voting, which people do the who become the electoral officers? Mostly are teachers. Mostly are teachers. So when we were moving to the biometric, a whole month, all schools were closed down. Some 20 years ago, all schools were closed down so that teachers can focus on registering people, so that electoral commission can generate the biodata of all Ghanaians. So to avoid that, the government closed down a school for 1 month. A whole month you were in the house, so that teachers can focus on that. So you have to be useful. We volunteer in several societies, so you should be useful to the society. As a teacher, you are what we call surrogate middle class morality. Surrogate middle class morality. People look up to you. Hey, so teacher is there a teacher who is doing this? Maybe. So you are surrogate morality. People look up to you. So if you are drinking and smoking, if people are drinking and smoking, as a teacher, I can't do that. You can't. Sometimes you have to buy and then go and do it in your room. You can't go about boozing and falling into the gutter because other people are doing it. No, you can't do that. People look at you as a surrogate middle class morality. So as you are expected to be a person of culture, you understand everything. You are also expected to be pioneers. Oh, teacher, I heard this on the radio. So you must listen to news so that you can argue with facts. You're also a seeker of truth. You must understand. You don't talk because you belong to MPP and DC. No. You can do that later, but you must talk with facts and then evidence so that people know that all you are saying. So anything, let's go to the teacher and go. When you go to school, you go and ask her. When you go to school, you go and ask madam, because they know that you are a pioneer of world of knowledge or world of ideas. Then in the school system, what are your roles? You should be in a good relationship with other people in the school. You should be in a school. It can be several things. You can be the headmaster, assistant headmaster. You can be an advisee, and be to your colleagues. Sometimes your colleagues will come to you for advice. Sometimes your friends will come to you for advice. Sometimes you will be a leader, sports teacher. Sometimes you'll be assistant sports teacher. Sometimes you are the welfare chair. Sometimes you are welfare member. So at times you are a follower, at times you are a leader, at times you are an innovator. What about the students? What about your students? You are best known for your role in educating students. So all students are put under your care. From school, from the house, you are the next person they spend a lot of life with. So as teachers, you have several roles in the classroom. And sometimes our roles even go beyond the classroom. You have to build a warm environment. You have to be a mentor. You have to nurture. Students are sad. You cannot be teaching crying students. Sometimes you need to find out. You cannot be teaching hungry students. Sometimes you go beyond to look for signs of trouble. You have children who come to school and they are stealing. It's not part of what you are teaching them, but you must take care, because if everybody comes to school and he is afraid that someone is going to steal the money, they will not come. You need to look at all these things as a teacher in your relationship with the school. Now, what again must you do? You are a disciplinarian. You must facilitate learning, and because you are facilitating the learning, you must dominate the classroom. If you're a teacher and you don't have control over your class, people will do anything that they want, and then learning and teaching will not go on. So you must make sure that they learn, they pay attention, and then you know how to reduce indiscipline or rebellion. You have to keep some order in the class. If not, you cannot teach. That's why as soon as you enter, I said, mute your mic. If you're unintentionally, you do that, I have to ask you to mute it, because people are here for serious business, and then you don't allow anybody. So maintaining the classroom is very, very important. Maintaining discipline is very, very important to you. You are a judge. You must give out grades and then promote people. You must promote. You are the people who say, now you qualified, so be honest, please. Don't be a judge who takes bribe. And those who don't have to promote it, you promote them, please. So you must decide what is right and wrong, and then what is good and bad, so that you solve. You are a judge. People bring their case to you. I remember those days, they'll come, Madam TB, Madam B, you see this person, I'm that. You judge the case. You judge. Sometimes the case even have to bring parents in there. You must judge. So your class, you must take control. You are confident. Sometimes they will come and tell you something. Madam, this thing that I'm telling you, don't tell anybody. They'll come and whisper in your ear. Then the following morning, you are telling everybody. No. You are confident. Sometimes you need to listen to them, become friends with your children, so that they can build what you call trust and then affection. So sometimes you teach, and one of your children becomes your friends forever. I have a lot of them. I don't know whether in this class I was telling that some of them have named their children after me. At least I have 2 of my children who are students who have named their children after me. So they become my friends forever. Then parent substitute from class 1 up to, especially they come to you, they see you as the second mother. The second mother. So you have to comfort them, you have to praise, you have to show them affection. Just as in the house, you come, Madam, you see, so and so are beating me. You have to show affection. Oh, don't mind him, and don't mind her. Hey, don't beat him again. All these things that you are doing, is it part of the curriculum? It's not part. As a teacher, you must do all these things so that your children will grow up showing affection. So if you're a male teacher, they will act as their father. If you're a female teacher, maybe as a mother. That's why we are saying that you are expected to be surrogate middle class morality. Surrogate middle class morality, so that people will consider you as their role models. Their role models. So a teacher may stress. One teacher may see the stress of the role. We are saying that sometimes we can't do everything. We are saying there are individual differences regarding to the role that you perform. Some people are very in the discipline area. So when someone misbehaves in the school, yes, let's go and call Mr. So and so. Where's Mr. Ayarga come? As soon as the people hear your name, even though you teach classes, you beat everybody in the school. You are you are strong in the discipline. Others may also be counselors. Oh, you are crying. Oh, where is Madam so and so? Come and see. That child has been crying the whole day. Find out what is wrong with her. So everybody has his own capacity as far as these areas are concerned. You cannot be all in all. Well, you can be strong in being a judge, in the discipline, but you must play all the roles. So now you move on to the social structure of the classroom. The classroom is made up of several groups, formal and informal. Formal and informal. Last time I gave you an assignment. A lot of assignments I've given you, I've not forgotten. One of the days, because I gave you assignments that find out in the school situation, even though in a formal situation, what are some of the things that you do that are informal or non-formal? I've not forgotten the assignment I gave. One of the days you will not learn. You come here and answer all the assignments. So within the formal groups, we also have informal ones. We have informal ones. So the classroom is a formal group, which is officially known. But within the classroom, we have informal groups. And then the class consists of the teacher and several children. But these children come from different homes, different socio-economic backgrounds. And as a teacher, you must know how these attractions and then repulsions affect your class. Who are the people everybody is running to? Who is the best friend of everybody? Who is the enemy to everybody? There are some people in the class, anything, they will mention their name. So you give an example and say, oh, there's a boy who usually sleeps in class, and everybody say, set. And there's everybody who is, then they always say, set. Do you have those things in your class? So you must know how to deal with them. So as a teacher, you must see objectivity, not subjectivity. You must view your class objectively. So what must you do? The other time I gave you an assignment. Find out what is sociometric. Yeah, I gave you 2 assignments on this. So we use something we call sociometric to obtain a sociogram. Use sociometric techniques. I gave you read on sociogram and then sociometric. I'm not forgetting all those. So what must you do to ensure that you know the social forces that are working in your class in respect to every activity that you ask the children to do? So if you are doing group activities, how does the people group themselves? Do they group themselves in male, female, or they are ready to mix up? And when they are mixed up, is there a particular person they are always calling a leader? You must look at all these things. And when you are doing that, you are calling it, you are saying that you are using sociometric. You are using sociometric. So this is using sociometric. Then you come out with a sociogram. You come out with a sociogram. So how do you build a sociogram? So in a sociometry, you are saying that one person is a star. For example, I'm giving one person is a star. Everybody wants to cluster around this one person. So when you take out papers and then you write their names on it, and then when they pick it, you understand what they mean. So he said a star is the one who is popularly chosen. So you write all their names and then you ask people to choose. And then you see that they choose, all of them choose one particular person. I mean, that person is a star. If they are chosen by many of the people, you call that person fall into a B group. It means a lot of people want to work with that person. If they choose, nobody chooses them. Isolate means no one wants to work with them. So all the people, when you put their names, nobody wants to choose them. So we call those people the neglectee or the rejectee. So sometimes the neglectee or the rejectee chooses, but nobody chooses them. Nobody likes them. They are the people sitting at the top here. They are likely to choose people, but nobody chooses them. He likes people, but nobody likes them. Then you have the dyads. Please, somebody have unmuted himself. You have the dyads. These dyads are attracted to, there are 2 people who are attracted to one another. So anytime that you say now 2 people, yes, I want to work with this one, always. Then you have the triads. There are 3 people who also always want to work together. Now form groups of 3. Then even one will sit at the front, but the 3 of them will move together. Form groups. If you don't form them and you ask them to form 2 groups, you always see 2 people who want to work together. Or form 3 groups. You always see 3 people who want to come together. So as a teacher, you must use the stars and then the mutual pairs as team leaders or group leaders or class captains. So before you choose a class captain, you must use the sociometry trick to find out. You don't just look at somebody's face and say, be the class captain. Who are the people like most? Because they like them, they are able to move along with them. So you do this small exercise in your class. And then you see those who nobody chooses them. Nobody wants to choose them at all. Then you have to pay attention to that. That child should be the child you should have special attention with. So one of the problems of sociogram is that it can pose, a problem it can pose has to do with the isolates. That is what I've already mentioned. The child that exists in the group and nobody likes that person, that child may withdraw. So it is to put a number of them together. Maybe we have 4 children, nobody chose them. Nobody chose those people. But you want to form them to form a group, you have a problem. Because they themselves, they didn't choose themselves. So to put a number of isolates in a group or even put worse, because the quality that made them compatible to the rest of the class also made them unacceptable to each other. So these are some of the small things that you must do in class. So as teachers, if you are not careful, the isolates may feel rejected by the teachers and their classmates. So make sure that these neglectees must be identified. Why is it that nobody likes you? And then you should give them some counseling. You must identify them and counsel. So teacher must find out their problem and offer them counsel to solve the problem. If not, it will lead to a psychological problem to the individual. You score a goal and nobody will even clap. You score 10/10 and nobody is smiling. Nobody even say, hey, you have done well. Hey, you have done well. Nobody is saying anything. It will affect the psychological well-being of the child. Then another thing is that you also look at the triers. The triers. Who always want to sit together? Who always want to do things together? Sometimes you also have to break it. Or if you don't break it, and then they also start forming groups or cliques, they may also try to do things that are not right. So as teachers, you use some of these strategies. You can use timeouts, plan ignoring, and then other strategies. Cliques who will want to cause problems in the classroom. You can also get closer to them, especially in the secondary schools. Get closer to them and then find out why they are doing what they are doing. Or sometimes, if you want to break them intentionally, you can have problems with them. Sometimes they work together very well. Some situations, making them work with their friends will not be too effective. So you need to look at all these things. But how can you take decision? You must perform this thing that we are calling sociometry to find out the social forces in your classroom. The social forces in your classroom. So that is that on the use of sociometry to form a sociogram to help you identify the mutual pair, the stars, the neglectees, the dyads, the triads, the gangs, and the cliques. So that as a teacher, you don't only look at, now today you are going to learn mathematics, let's go on. No, the other things you must also be concerned about. Now you move on to reasons why as teachers you must study sociology. Very, very important. All the things you have been studying for the 3 weeks. Why are you studying them? You are studying them because you should know that the school is a social institution which form a component of the science system. They are related to one another. They work hand in hand. So the parents of your children are very important as a child. The community where you are teaching, they should be important to you. You cannot do anything anyhow. You mentioned that you are a surrogate middle class morality. So you cannot say that, oh, me, I'm a teacher, and so on. So if I'm a teacher, can't I do whatever I want to do? No. You can't do whatever you want to do because you are dealing with human beings. You are not like the banker who deals with money. You are not like the bull fruit seller who is dealing with only bull fruits. You are not the cocoa seller who is dealing with cocoa. You are dealing with human beings. And therefore, you must understand that they are related, several to other people. So your actions should be cautious, should be very cautious of your actions. So if the social institution is weak, it will also affect the whole development of the society. So if you all decide not to learn, if your teacher decided not to teach you, I don't think we will be here today. Your teachers who taught you from class 1 help you to be able to know how to use phone and how even to join online. Kabana, Frank, please mute your mic. Then we move on to the second point. He says that it allows us to appreciate and understand the content of education, which is the culture of the society, and education as a means of socialization. You have mentioned it several times. Education helps us to socialize so that you can become responsible members of the society. And then you also know that the culture of the people should form parts. So when he asks you to teach the food, when you are teaching the Northern school, the other time I was at Sandema. I was at Sandema to visit some schools. And if the teacher is teaching food, what is your best food? And the students are mentioning tozafi, you can't say that, no, that is not what I want. That is the food. So even when the book is saying the food in Ghana is fufu, you have to select from the curriculum that you are teaching, you must give examples within your locality. Within your locality. So you can't go and teach apples, strawberry as food, or sugarcane when people have not seen one in the community. But they have seen shea butter fruits, they have seen mangoes, they have seen oranges, they have seen yellow melons, they have seen watermelons. This is what you must teach in the school as fruits. So that is why it is the culture of the people that must be the content of what. So whatever you are giving as a syllabus, you are allowed to use what's the examples in your community. Then it's equipped us with what you must be able to do so that you can study education in a sociologically, diachrologically, and then synchronologically. You said the study of society in a scientific manner. So it will help you to do that. You don't just say things out of scope. It helps us to appreciate the need for technical and vocational education, also in Ghana. Studying sociology will also help you to understand, give you understanding now, said that you see education as instrument of change because it brings about the desired change without disrupting the system. Without destroying, because if you destroy the society, then the children you are training, where are they going to be? So changes in lifestyle, in dressing, in food, in design, housing, the school teaches the children, then they go home to practice. So it is the school that the study of sociology also help us to understand and appreciate our educational system and how it reflect the sociology or philosophy of the country. So every student must understand some of the goals and objectives that the school is supposed to achieve. And as a teacher, you must understand all these things. So every educational system that does not reflect, remember you have said that our educational system is peculiar to our characteristics. And our characteristics are based on our philosophy. Ghanaians, we value our culture, the way we dress, no matter the number of years we stayed under colonization. When it comes to our funeral and our weddings, we don't go to funeral in coats and ties. Even the color of our cloth, we know what color we must wear during wedding. Color we even choose for our weddings are based. Nobody chooses all black. Few people do that. Very few choose black. I know people choose black for engagement and other things. But we hardly see people like sometimes when you even see them, we find out. So our philosophy guides what we should be doing in the school. You must understand that. You must also understand the last one. You must also understand that the school is has a social function. It must be functional. Remember, you studied the structural functionalists. It must be functional. And all the things and ambitions and aspirations and needs of the school must be of the society must also be put in place to address the needs of the school. So when the society is bringing some changes, you cannot say that I'm not part of the society, so I don't buy into these changes. So that is in a nutshell. We have mentioned 5 things, and these are some of the areas you must also revise. Must revise for your exam. When you finish and you are writing exams, you look at areas where you must also study. Reasons why you must study sociology of education. One of the important things you must do, you must know. So if you have any question, you ask. If you don't have any question, you move on to Unit 3, Section 1. You see how much you can go. The quiz will be based on Unit 1, 2, 3, Quiz 1. Be based on Unit 1, 2, 3. So wherever I'm able to finish 2, you will also meet on Tuesday evening to continue. Wherever you are done to, the rest will be for you to read. So when we have 30 minutes, we are going to look at some functions of education. Some functions of education. So what does education want us to do? Functions of education. So in this unit, you are going to look at substance, look at functions of education, and the functions of education, you have the cultural function, you have a social change as a function, social mobility, you look at political function, economic function, the selection function. All these are needed for our quiz 1. So what is the social function? We have mentioned society, several times, sociology, several times. So if you don't understand anything at all, if you forget anything about this course, you won't forget about socialization, the role of the school as far as socialization is concerned. So educational sociologists have grouped our functions into several functions. We have social function, cultural function, economic function, selection function, political function, technology, and innovation functions, several of them. You can even add on, because now you are also educational sociologists. All of us here can also add on family functions, friendship functions, several of them. Create your own and add. One day I'm going to ask you. But in our model, you are going to discuss 5 of the functions. So what are functions? A function is the consequence or action or structure. A function is a consequence, action, or structure. So whatever you do, you expect something from it. Whatever you do, you're expecting something. So your function, what is your role? You do it to expect something. That's why we are saying that Parsons is saying that you have a status and you have role. So status, you are part of this school. What is your role? So function of social function of education, we are saying that it can be seen as the consequence of education on society. Simple. The consequence of education on society. That is the social function of education. The consequence of education on the society. Whatever the school does in its affairs society is what we are calling the social function. So it has to do with how education is able to prepare individuals to function, to fit into the society. So the function of society or the social function is simply called socialization. I've mentioned this several times, socialization. Right from the word go, we have mentioned the word socialization several times. So we move on to Martin. Martin is saying that social function of education is the consequence of education on the development of the society, or the impact or influence of education on society. So how is the education influencing our society? What are the things students are doing in the school that is being affected as seen in the society? Those days when you are going to a funeral, you must put on your cloth, like the bed sheets, big cloth. And you have to put it on your shoulder, the men. Most of us don't know how to do it now. The school is having impacts on our culture. Now, young men and women go to funerals wearing black trousers and black shirts and black t-shirts, anything black. It's only our kings and the elderly people who are now using the kente in that, or the few people, because some people have difficulty in managing how to keep it in order. So the school is having an impact, and we are calling it a social function. So they describe and explain. Sociologists describe and explain, and not prescribe. We just describe and explain. You don't prescribe. What is it and how is it? That should be given, even though they want to influence policy, and then they prescribe based on findings. So we are saying that as sociologists, we can describe and explain, but you cannot prescribe, even though sometimes we generate policies. When you're able to study society, we generate policies that will affect. So Parsons, who is a functionalist, is saying that the major function of education are 2: socialization and selection. Socialization and selection. So when you forget anything at all, and they ask you what are the basic functions of education, we are saying that it's socialization and selection. What is the school, all the social consequences of education on the society, is socialization and then selection. So now you move on to, but Parsons is saying that the most important one of these 2 is selection. Why is it important? Because it's the school that helps us to select individuals into to actually be in positions be in positions. It is the school that says that this person got first class, so give him the first position. This person got second class, give him the second position. This person failed, he failed everything. He doesn't qualify to even enter university. So all of us who are here have ever studied something. We have studied something and we are here because the school gave the university some form of standard or criteria to be able to select you, to be able to enter the university and even select you to do the course that you want to do. So Parson is saying that it's one of the important function of education. Now you move on to types of functions in education. We have two types. So the school is a transmitter of several knowledge. As a school, we transmit several knowledge. We are doing reading, writing, and a lot of them. But we are going to categorize these functions into two. We have the manifest function and we have the latent function. The manifest function and the latest function. So the school, whatever the school is doing, can be divided into two. What are the manifest function? The manifest function is the function that is the function of the school. The school is there to do certain things. So that is the obvious purpose of the school. The manifest function are the function that people think about when you are go to school. So the school is intended to give us new knowledge. So when you go to school as day nursery, when you come home, your parents will ask you, what did you learn at school today? Parents are even eager. They ask you, what did you learn at school? Did your teacher come to school? Yes. So what did you learn? You want to hear something that the school have taught you today. That is the latent function, the manifest function of the school. So the two most significant manifest function of the school should go beyond teaching and learning. That should go beyond teaching and learning, socialization, and then transmission. So in the school, we are not just there to learn book knowledge. You must also learn how to socialize. And then you also learn how to transmit our culture. So you cannot go to school and come back and tell us that for me, I don't know anything about my culture. You mean the school has failed you. The school has failed. So beyond teaching and learning, beyond teaching subject knowledge, the school must also help us to socialize. The school must value friendship, peer groups. The school must value sports, games. The school must value singing. The school must appreciate those who are able to help one another in the society or in the classroom, socialization and transmission of course. Then you have the latent one. The latent one is those ones that we don't anticipate. Actually, they are not part of what we must do. They are not part. Sometimes you don't even know that they are happening. They are not happening. You don't know. It doesn't come straight to our mind. For instance, we play matchmaker. We put individuals together and find out whether they match. Sometimes there's two children in the class, and we the students, we say, hey, you are where is your husband? We start calling them husband and wives. So when you meet Abna, we say, Abna, come. Sometimes you go and catch Abna, and then we catch Robert, and then you put their hands together. Hey, husband and wife. So that when you see Abna, where is your husband? You see Robert, where is your wife? You do that, you are calling it matchmaker. And before you are aware, Abna and Robert has accepted themselves as man and wife. And then it will lead to romantic. So we find our partners in the primary school, sometimes. So I've known her, we were classmates when you were in the JHS. We were classmates when you were in the secondary school. We were classmates when you were in the university. They didn't go to school to find romantic partners. So that is a latent function. So as the school puts us together, we end up marrying one another. So the latent function of the manifest function is go there to learn. Some of us here, will end up marrying our lecturers. We have a lot of lecturers who are married their students at the university level. A lot of them. They taught them, then they end up marrying them. Sometimes you also marry your JHS girl after you have taught them. So that is a latent function. And we are saying that both the latent and then the manifest one can be either positive or negative. They can be positive or negative depending on your motive. So if as a teacher, instead of waiting for your girl to finish school, you are sleeping with that girl now. Even though you say she can become your wife or your husband later, it doesn't mean start doing it when they are not ready. That makes it negative. So one way that education is organized is not meeting the aim. One aim, when it is negative, it means that the education is not meeting the aim that it has been assigned for. It means that function has become dysfunctional. Go to the school and teach the children, and now you are sleeping around with them. It's dysfunctional. You are not doing what you are supposed to do as a teacher. So dysfunctional activities is what we are calling, is other any activity that has negative or undesirable effects, even though they are functioning. Sometimes a teacher will be sleeping with one girl in the class, and that girl will never respect that teacher, and it will affect other students. If they see that girl is talking negatively or anyhow to you, all the girls in the class will talk to you that same way. So please, those as all you are coming up. If one girlfriend, don't take them when they are in your class. At least when they are finished and they are finished school, you can now go and chase them. Don't chase them. Control yourself. Don't chase girls and boys while you are teaching them. You break respect, and it will be a dysfunctional. People will not be learning. The child who is supposed to learn, the teacher will be looking at her because they remember all the things they did in the night, and it affects how the teacher is teaching. So functional activities, also activity that produce good results. Good results. So we can say that the armed robbers activity to rob is destructive, so it is functional. But when you say functional are all activities that produce good results. The teacher have taught this girl nicely. The teacher has even helped this girl. The girl is now in the secondary school, has completed. Now the teacher is going back to marry that girl in an official way. You can say it's a latent and then you functional. Latent, but you functional because they are able to identify themselves as partners through the school system. But when he doesn't do that, then you can also say that it is latent and dysfunctional. For the girl and the man, the teacher, they were not in school to marry. It's only the school that brought them together, and they couldn't wait. And they are using the school system to do negative things. So it can be latent and then dysfunctional. So both know that both latent, both manifest and the latent function can be, as we have said, it can be dysfunctional, it can be functional or more functional. So more functional is when it is not working as it's supposed to work. When something is not working as supposed to work, we call it as more functional. So now let's look at some of the latent function activities of the school. Some of the things that you are not supposed to do, but as teachers, you should be interested in doing them. One of them is custodian care. Custodian care. As a teacher, you have to take care of the children while they are in school and while their parents are. So sometimes those of us who teach in private school, we cannot go home when all parents have not taken their children. You have to be there. Even when people are taking their children, you need to know who is taking the children. I have a sister who was stuck somewhere, so I asked her sister to go and pick the child. The child behaved as if he doesn't know the auntie. And the teachers were not ready to let the child go. So they called the mother, and the mother has to speak with them. So when they were going, the auntie was angry. Now you look at the way you are disgracing me. I live with you in the house, and you are behaving as if you don't know me. So custodian. Then you have gatekeeping. The school must also do a gatekeeping device to regulate the outflow of people into the labor market. So sometimes you keep you in the school. The government intentionally keep you in the school. After JHS, you cannot do government work. Even after SS, you cannot do government work. It is after university. Why? Why is the government doing that? So going to school help to control the labor markets. Not until you have your degree. You cannot teach in any government institution. so that it regulates. As people are dying, others are going on retirement, others are also joining. So the school intentionally keeps you in school. If not, it's all after JHS, you can go and work. Who will enter secondary school? Who will go to university? But you say that you can only get work after do your national service. Even after work, say do your national service. All of them is a gatekeeping latent. So we call it latent in functional activity. Then marriage. Marriage. The school also serves as a marriage market. You have seen that. You become closer, you get your girlfriend. Sometimes people at the graduation level, they come with their friends within the next week. We see wedding cards flying around. So most people choose their partners in the university. Some people marry lecturers, others marry their own classmates, others marry their juniors. So the school is also serving as a place. The school is also serving establishment ties. We are able to have a lot of friends. Myself as a lecturer, I have friends. Just last Tuesday, somebody brought me a whole lot of gifts. Whole lot of gifts for my friends. He just brought me plantain, oil, dress, so many things. I ate a nice pie today from someone that I've taught. So we established ties. I joined one of the parties through my students. I said, oh, I'm in this party. I said, no, don't join that party. Join this party. It will be good for you. My students advise that. I told when I go on retirement, I want to go into politics. And then Auntie B, you need to start from here. Join this one. It's my student who gave me that advice. And I followed. So these are some of the establishment ties. Then you have latent dysfunctional. Not that we do things, good things. So sometimes you do bad things. Sometimes we can create inter-ethnic rivalry when a teacher is talking negatively about one tribe because he has had some bad experience with them. It can cause the inter-ethnic associations. Inter-ethnic associations. You also some content of the history, some unemployment. People finish school, they don't have any work to do. Unemployment. But meanwhile, too, you cannot stop people. Cannot say that now the whole 10 years, nobody should go to school because the government cannot employ you. You all go to school hoping that you can get employment. So it's also one of the things school is not doing. The school community idea where every school wants to have its own school, every community wants to have its own school. So that we name the schools after us. What about communities who cannot build schools? It's also another negative thing. So that is that on the social functions of the school. So we are saying that we have several functions, but you can focus on the two of them, manifest functions and latent function. And the manifest function, we said it can be the manifest or latent, it can be function, it can be functional, it can be more functional, it can be dysfunctional. Any of these two, the latent can also take three sub things. It can be dysfunctional, functional, or more functional. And we have looked at some of the latent functional activities. We have also mentioned some latent dysfunctional activities. Any question up to now? Any question up to now? Yes, Kwanzaa. Sasa, Kwabra. Yes, Frank. Okay, so we move on to Unit 3, Section 2. We have looked at the social function. We are also going to look at the cultural function. What are the cultural functions? So we need to define what is culture and some cultural functions. So we use the word culture to mean so many things. Sometimes we even say that you are cultured. When you say you are cultured, it means you are well socialized or near Ghanaian in the Ghanaian parlance. You are more refined. So we are saying the word culture is a German word. It's from Germany, which you call civilization. So when you say you are cultured, it means you are civilized. When you say you are uncultured, it means you are not civilized. So culture means a lot of things, even the taste. Some people, they don't, if they have money, they don't even know what to buy. Some people have taste. They can buy good things, good spray, good alcohol. So when they are going out, people send them, when you go buy this for me, they have taste. It's part of our civilization. Some people appreciate nice things, art. There are some people, they can buy drawing, just simple drawing. It's a high price, but they appreciate, they have taste for art, fine art. Some people have taste for good material, good designs. All these are part of our civilization. So not all college graduates are cultured. People are saying that not all college graduates, not all people are cultured. So it means that not only those of us who have gone to school. If you say you have cultured or civilized, it doesn't mean you have gone to school. No. Because we have different forms of education. Someone is nice because the father or the mother or the society have trained that person well, only that he cannot read and write. He dresses nicely. They travel to UK, Canada, and everywhere. They come back, even though they have never been to school. So they're also civilized. So civilization is not only you, that you have been to school and can read and write. So Nella in 1966 is saying that culture is the total shared way of life of people. It comprises how we think, how we act, how we feel, our religion, our language, everything that we have talked about, our houses, the tools that we even use. How do we read? How do we farm? It's part of our culture. So our total shared way of life, our drumming, dancing, everything. So culture also includes the social essence of the society. It could be within itself elements that make up the essence of the society. Our symbols, our values, our norms, our language especially. So the ultimate aim of education, wherever it is the transmission of the patterns of behavior, the techniques, the values, the beliefs, the ideas, and the knowledge that makes which a society has accumulated and used. Everything that the society has accumulated and used is part of our culture. So we mentioned that when you are learning or teaching children the food they like best, don't expect the child from Sandema to say that the food I like best is fufu. No. They will mention the food that is even common. Is it yam fufu? Is it the tozafi? Is it the rice balls? Is it the cocoa? Then when you are traveling down, things begin to change because of the changes in our culture. So the items that are transmitted in education are described as the culture of the society. So how do you dress? Bring the dressing to classroom. Bring how you're dressing. You are going to dress. And every child in your classroom is going to bring the cloth of the culture. So you have Asante people in your class, no matter where you find them, they will bring their kaba and sleeve. They will bring their kente. Even in Accra, the child will bring smoke. So it tells you that some of the things that we are learning is part of our culture. So the cultural function of education is concerned if the issues of transmitting culture, preserving it the way it is, and innovating. That's very important, innovation. So now, even though we are attending funerals, we are not attending funeral in clothes. We are attending funerals in black trousers and black shirts. And people agree because we are in black. So innovating is very, very important. People want to eat fufu, but they cannot carry the wardrobe or the woman or the pistol. So now you have fufu powder. These days, I also even buy konkonte powder from the shop. You have the banku powder. You have a kivo gari that has mixed gari. You are still eating our gari soakings, but now it is in a pack. So that if you are traveling somewhere far away from Ghana and you still want to eat your soakings, you have it in a pack. So it is our culture that we are innovating. And that is some of the things that is the cultural function of education. So it is the consequences of education on our cultural heritage. So now let's look at it is also what education does, or the role of education in our cultural development. Very, very important. So basically, the cultural function of education, we are saying that the consequence of education on culture, the cultural function of the social function is the consequence of the society on education on society. The consequence of education on society is social function. The consequence of culture on education and the consequence of education on culture is cultural function. So what are the basic characteristics of culture? What are the basic characteristics of culture? We are saying that culture should be organic and supra-organic. Culture should be organic and supra-organic. What does it mean? We are saying that it's organic because there's no culture without human beings. Organic, we are organs. So when you are in the bush, there was no culture, but when you are among human beings, there's culture. It's also supracultural because it lives beyond. Can you tell me when we started engaging people in marriage? You don't know. It started long ago. Can you tell me why people are put in coffins and people cry and you are in black and you put the people in bed to wakekeeping? Why wakekeeping? That's your first assignment for today. Why do you do wakekeeping? Find out and come and share with us on Tuesday. Wakekeeping, why? And that's the aspect we are calling supra-organic. Supra-organic. Then culture is overt and covert. Overt and covert because some of them we can see, some of them you cannot see. Our mortar and pestle, the way you pan fufu in the north is different from the way you pan fufu in the south. The way you prepare tozafi is different. The way everything, the tools that we use when you want to cook tozafi and dawa soup, what are the things that you need? All these are they can be divided into two, material and non-material. So the material one is the one you can see, non-material one is the one you can talk about: language, belief, knowledge, attitude, and values. Culture is explicit and implicit. It means that we can consider some action we can explain some actions so we cannot explain them. But we believe in them. Wakekeeping. These days, some people are saying no wakekeeping, but you put the body on the bed in the morning for people to look at it. Why? Why do you do all those things? Why don't you just put him in the coffin and bury him? But you go and hire somebody to come and decorate a whole place, put your dead body on the bed, look at it before we bury. Why? Saying these are the implicit ones. It may not be explained, but you believe them. Culture is ideal and manifest. It's ideal and manifest. The ideal culture involves what you ought to do and then how you have to behave. It's actual. You believe in them, like the funeral example I'm giving. We believe, we do it. So when everybody is dead, now you are going to look for a coffin. You are going to look for someone an undertaker who come and decorate the place with flowers nicely. Before we can do that, why can't we just take the body from the mortuary, go and bury and come and sit in the house? So culture is ideal and manifest. Culture is stable and dynamic. It's stable because we hold value. Since time immemorial, we have been performing funerals. Sometimes you complain that the funerals are expensive. We are not stopping it. People come there, they eat. Some people come with their potting bags to carry food from the funeral grounds. That day, nobody will cook, but somebody is there. Food will be available at the funeral grounds. They come with flaps. Ever visited the funeral where the women, they will go and line up, come and pour, come and hide behind the body, pour in the rubber bag, going for another one, likely 3 times, so that as they are going home, they know they are not going to cook. They didn't ask you to call your relative so that they will come and waste time at your funeral. They must cease from the funeral. And then culture is also dynamic. We are changing. Now go to funeral, there's a lot of takeaway. We are feeding you all right, but now takeaway. People are traveling long distances. So after the funeral, they give them takeaway so that as they travel on the way, they can also eat. It's a dynamic way. We are changing so that you can adapt. Culture is also shared and learned. Culture is shared and learned. So we share culture and we learn. Then we can also say that culture is the last one. Culture is symbolic. Culture is symbolic. Symbols, it comes a lot of symbols. Purpose creation. So the kente that people wear, they have names. The tradition, the clothes that you wear, they have names. So Tuesday, come and tell me some of the traditional names of the cloth that you wear. So that's when people have funerals, they choose a particular cloth. Or batampa, they have meanings. The cloth that you wear, the symbols in the kente cloth. Come to class, bring at least 3 of them and tell us their meaning. So symbols are central components of our culture. And then you sometimes use symbols to communicate. When you wave your hand, what is it? When you shake your head, what is it? When you pull your tongue and you wag your tongue, what is it? A lot of things that you do that people use to explain. So you have symbols, sounds, and images to explain culture. So we have looked at 7 things that are basic characteristics of culture. You have just 3 minutes, and I wanted to see what we can do on values, norms, mores, and folkways. Values, norms, mores, and folkways. If you are not able to finish, you will read and then you come and share with us. So norms are the things that people describe how we should do and how we should behave. Norms are things. So in the school, we have norms. You have to come to class. You have to be at the assembly. You must march. So when you are marching, you cannot run. Even when you are doing line, shortest in front, tallest in back. If you are tall and come and sit you can't stand in the front because you need to put your hand on somebody's shoulder to make sure that you have a straight line. All these are norms. So we have 3 types of norms: folkways, mores, and laws. And then the negative functions, negative sanctions are meted out to people who do not obey these norms. If you don't obey these norms, the school norms, you will be punished. So social norms are also divided into 2. You have the mores and the folkways. Remember, you said the norms are 3. You have the folkway, the norms, and the laws. But you are saying within this, the social norms are divided into 2, mores and folkways. What are the mores? The mores are those that are enforced, and their violation will result in social, it's a threat to social stability. When you are sleeping, close your doors. No one is expected to enter somebody's room without knocking. These are mores. And if you disobey them, you enter somebody's room without knocking, you can be arrested and punished. So do not steal, do not rape, do not commit all these things are mores. Then you have laws. Laws, on the other hand, are most, they are formal, important. Their laws are mores that are so vital. So they are translated, they are written. Sealing is written. So you go and seal a cocoa or hen, you can be put in 1 year prison and nobody will say anything. The person say, you are good enough. Why do you go about sealing? Go into prison 1 year. They will allow. Then folkways. You say folkways are some of the laws that can be broken. They can be broken. If you fail to greet somebody, if you say, I can say I won't greet you, you can't say anything. Even though it's good to greet, if I say I'm not greeting you, I don't like you, I don't want to greet you, don't shake my hands. No one can take you to prison. And then another one is also normal for an adult to marry. But if you say you won't marry, there are a lot of young people who are coming up who don't want to marry. I don't know. One day you have to, the men and the women, you have to tell me. A lot of people don't want to marry these days. They just don't want to marry. You are supposed to marry, but if you don't want to marry, nobody can do anything. Sometimes we impose some functions, like few of them, they are not so, sanctions are imposed on violators of folkways, but they are normally done too harsh. So your parents will be calling you and then talking to you. Robert, you must marry. Mavis, you are of age. Why you don't want to marry? When you are sick, especially when you are sick, they come to visit you. Evelyn, we have told you, if you are married, at least your husband could have taken care. You look at you at your age, you don't want to marry. He will just reprimand you, but I won't do anything. So I want it's 1:30. I don't want to. Are you going for break so I can steal 5 minutes of your time? Is it break time?
No,
Yes,
please, we have
madam.
Yes, madam.
So let me steal 5 minutes of your time.
No, I
After
think
all,
break is only when it's 9
you
o'clock to
won't
9:30.
eat online. So let me steal 5 minutes of your time. So these are folk ways. We are saying that they are things that can be broken. So folk ways can also be divided into two. We have the fashion and then the custom. So folk ways are usually approved ways. They are approved ways by this change to subject to periodic change. The way we dress, these days people are using the Ghanaian cloth to make coats. Some people want to have coats. For instance, me especially, I like coats and I want it to be used in Ghanaian. So I look official, but I'm using official in my traditional, in my GTP. Then we have custom. Custom too is a folkway or a form of social behavior that have persisted for a long time. So when you say it is the custom of accounts to eat fufu, it means it's something you have done for a long time, even when you don't have more time. So you want to eat fufu powder. It means without fufu, you are not complete. So it's part of our custom. So fashions and custom can be differentiated. While custom changes, fashion changes faster. It can change faster. So custom is a pattern that are shared by most members of the society. So as soon as you like eating fufu several times, hey, are you an Akan? Where do you come from? You like fufu too much. Are you a Gan? Kenke. Anytime you are hungry, you want kenke. Anytime you are hungry, you want kenke. Are you a fancy or a Gan? You like kenke too much. It's a custom, but fashion can change. The way we dress, we can change. So we are saying that education can also promote these changes. Education can contribute to these changes. So through education, we can have some national feeling. So now, anytime that we are doing anything, we have the kente that comes across. And education, we can look at it later. Education can bring about changes in 3 ways: cultural origination, cultural diffusion, and then cultural cultural reinterpretation. You look at it. But before we take our break, let's look at these 3 schools of thought: conservatives, reconstructionists, and progressivists. Where do you belong? Are you a conservative that you want things to be the way they are? They say you must go to funeral in black. Don't come here with any color. It's black or red. It's black or red. One day I was sitting in the car and someone was talking to someone. The person is saying that, oh, our brother is dead. You want to use black and white. And the man was saying, you don't know culture at all. This is a young man who is dead and you are going to use black and white. Are you happy that he is dead? That man is a conservative. He's a conservative. Are you the type of teacher who want to transmit culture the way it is? The way it is from one generation to the other. You don't have any business to change it. So they argue that the society that they argue that to improve society, you must improve the individual who are in it, but you don't have to change culture. Culture must be maintained. Societies is improved not by enforcing people's ideas into people's throats. What is there must be maintained. So the prime purpose of education is to produce a type of individual who will transmit social heritage to adjust the individual in the society. So funeral must be attended in black. We agree. But how do you go there? You decide to go there in black t-shirts, in black trousers and shirts, in black design, maybe with red and a blend. They are the conservative. Then you have the reconstructionists. That for them, they are saying that we should think into the future, go into the future, think what the society wants to be in future and prepare people towards it. Reconstruct. Reconstruct. Are you the kind of teacher who want to reconstruct so that you prepare syllabus to meet things that will happen in future? So if you are that type, then you are the reconstructionist. Then you have the last one we are calling the progressivists. For them, they are saying that it's not the duty of the school to embark on any change You should rather teach children what they must know, expose them to all sorts of things, and allow the children to choose. So students should not be watertight. So you cannot tell me that, oh, I'm IT student, I'm accounting student. What am I doing with EDF? You don't know where you find yourself. So the progressivists say that let students learn anything at all that comes to their way. Let them learn anything. Then when they are exposed, they will go into what they have learned, use it to solve the problem. So in the final one, we are saying that how does the culture, the Western culture, have tended to undermine our culture? How has the Western undermined our culture? The Western people have used certain things to change our culture. These days, everybody has a Christian name. Everybody has a Christian name. Now, sometimes they even change our traditional name into Christian. So, as one thing, they say Riverson. Ayensu, they say Mr. William Waters. Ekuma, the axe, they say Mr. Hackman. They have somebody we call Hackman. Then Kuntu, they say Mr. Blankson. So you tell them the meaning, then they add some, transform it. The other time we're asking you some of the towns like Sopon. The Sopon, the actual name is Achimfo, but they call it Sopon. Then the last one is sometimes we say Anglicization of our names. Anglicization. For that one, they use our actual names, but they mention it in an English way. Like Kobna, they say Kobe. The same K, but they are calling it Kobe. So Parry, they say Parry. Cranston, they say Cransel. Then Pentil, they say Pencil. Asia, they say Acel. It's our own names. The own name that have been, people will say Bropholites. They have make it like European names. So that is that for today. Any question? Thank you for the 10 minutes that you have given me. Any question up to now? If there's no question, I want us to end here so that I can take our next class or our break. If you have any question, you raise your hand. Today, I didn't see a lot of people joining. Okay, yeah, lots of almost 50. Okay. Yes, any question? I already said that our quiz will be based on unit 1 to 3. So our quiz will be 1 to 3. Now we have done the whole of unit 1. We have done unit 2. We have done unit 3 up to session 2. So I believe that when you meet on Tuesday evening, you'll be able to finish some of them. And then the rest, you go and read it yourself. So Tuesday, let's join on time. Let's join on time at 5:50. 5:50. Then you close by so that you can join. Whatever you reach on Tuesday. Yes, next week, Saturday too, we are free. The quiz is coming on. I think we can meet another day on Tuesday before we can finish up. Because today's week, there will be no class, but I'll go somewhere. But within the week.
Hello, madam. Hello, madam.
Yes. You have unmuted yourself. Let me finish talking before I call you. Mute yourself, please. William Dozie, I'll call you. Yes. So I'm saying that before we leave, we are meeting on Tuesday, next week Tuesday. But today's week, there will be no class. There will be no class, but I'll be somewhere. So next week, so you meet this week Tuesday, you meet next week Tuesday again to finish up so that you can write your quiz safely. When you meet twice, you'll be able to finish. Yes, William. Please, if you don't have any question, you can exit. We have finished the class.
Okay.
Thank you. If you don't have any question, please leave the classes. So you meet on Tuesday, 5:50. Yes, William. Okay, so you have all your hands are down. So see you on Tuesday. Bye-bye.
Hello, madam.
Yes. Yes, William.
Madam, please. The Tuesday meeting, is it the same link?
Yes, we don't change links.
Okay.
We are
Thank
using
you.
this link so we write exams.
Thank you, madam.
Yeah, Roberts. Roberts.
Madam.
Tumbila, yes.
Yeah, madam.
Yeah.
Please, I want to ask because we get this link not quite long. We get it just yesterday.
It's a general problem some of us are facing. We
Yes.
have attention. We are moving from the beginning.
So when we are,
So
that's
we
what I'm
find-
saying. Roberts, it's a
Yes,
personal
madam.
question. So you can talk about it later. Let's finish everything. I can't go back and start teaching unit 1 again. So let me finish what you have to finish. Then you can go back and revise if you have time. Okay.
Okay. Then, madam, when you were also
yeah.
I'm saying that when we were talking about the characteristics of the teachers, you made
Please,
mention
those
of.
who don't have questions, you may exit. Please, if you don't have any question, you can exit. So I join the next class. Yes, Robert, I'm hearing you.
I'm saying that when you were talking about the basic characteristics of culture, you made mention of culture can be said.
Yeah, it can be
And
shared. So
I
that
did not understand. How can culture be shared?
When you say you can share culture, you don't understand. Can't you share your food the way you eat with somebody? You say culture is a property. So when have you seen a white man wearing kente dress before?
Yes.
Do you eat jollof rice?
Yes, madam.
The jollof rice, they are Ghanaian food.
No.
So we are sharing somebody's culture. Yeah. So when you say culture can be shared, it means people can get knowledge, cultural knowledge of groups, social socialization. So when we have people visiting us, we give them kente, we give them Ghanaian artifacts. We are sharing our culture with them. We can share our culture with them. So we are saying that we should know that not all things must be cultural. Sometimes we have some biological attributes. Some of them are biological. Most of the time, we can share our culture with others. So we get knowledge of others through socialization. Someone visits you, the way you prepare your food, your toes are he goes home and does the same thing. He's sharing in your culture.
Okay, thank you, madam. Madam,
We can learn and share.
Yeah, madam.
Yeah.
You said Tuesday we'll be meeting, and African studies matter too. The lecture too also said we'll be meeting on
So you are
Tuesday.
meeting at 5:50 to 6:50. So that's 7 o'clock. You join African Studies.
Okay.
We are meeting at 5:50 on the dot. If I join at 5:50, I have only one student. I'll start teaching. So that by 6:50 on the dot, you close. Then you have 10 minutes break to join African Studies.
Okay.
Okay, all the best. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.